guys, my name is Elita and I'm from class 2G. And today I will have a presentation called Child Marriage in Indonesia. Okay, the reason why I choose the topic because early marriage is still a common thing in Indonesia, especially in rural Java. I want to inform the audience about the prevalence of this child marriage and the reason behind it, hoping to raise awareness about these issues. This practice often harms children, especially girls, because they're not emotionally, physically, and psychologically ready for the marriage. It can disturb their educations and then limit opportunity them to grow and increase the serious health risks like complications in early pregnancy and childbirth. And child marriage make girls live in poverty and depends gender inequality. To prevent the child marriage, it's important to have law that protects the children and raise awareness about how harmful the effect in the communities. In Indonesia, around 14 of girls get married before they turn 18, and 1% get married before they are turned 15 years old. These numbers show that child marriage remains a significant problem in Indonesia. Despite effort to reduce it through legal change and community educations, for the last and the most accurate statistic, to refer to recent reports from organizations like UNICEF or government survey. That I got as my reference is called Early Marriage Among Indonesian Muslim Girls in rural areas of Java. This article truly look at why young girls in rural Java get married early. It talk about how money, religions, and traditions affect these decisions and what happened because of it. The journal mentions that Bondowoso is a district with the highest rate of the early marriage, reaching 52.93% of the total rate in 2012, and in 2013 the number of the early marriage under the age of 20 years in Pakemsu district, Bondowoso, was 53.18% and it reached 67.2% in 2014. In the journal mentions there are 5 reasons why early marriage happen, but I will give you 3. The first one is to avoid premarital sex, as known as zina, which is forbidden in Islam. The second one is relative low aspirations for the educations, considering that marriage is more important than educations. And the last one is unwanted pregnancy. In the journal mentions that the idea of the girl who marry before the age of 18 have the worst life experience than those who marry at the older age, because they will have more children, less future income, and poor health. The rejections of the marriage proposal had never happened since the child was still a student. It occurs because a man will never target a child who is still students. Once a child is graduating from the junior high school or elementary school and no longer continuing his study, the man will come to the house to propose to be his wife. And the mother in the village will be easier to overcome the social pressure by asking the daughters to get married earlier if the daughter have already graduated. The journal also mentions that for villagers, early marriage offers several benefits. They get to enjoy the grandchildren while still young and can share responsibilities with the son-in-law, who work in the field work and child care. This makes them more willing to marry off the children quickly. As one villager put it, if a man proposes to my daughter and she refuses, she might end up an old virgin. In this journal, they use 5 methods to know what kind of reason behind of child marriage in rural Java is. The first one is qualitative approach. Second, data collections. Third, direct interactions. Fourth, observations. 5, understanding complexity. And I will explain to you one by one. So the first one is qualitative approach. It means focusing on exploring and interpreting narrative, belief, practice within a community to understand how social culture factor influence the early marriage. And the second one is data collections. Research engaged in detailed discussion with people from rural Java communities, including their parents, the leader of the community, the girl themselves, to gather personal insight to experience regarding early marriage. And the third one is direct and interactions. There are three things to do. So the first one is face-to-face communications, immediate feedback, and physical presence. In research or quantitative approach, direct interactions often involves the research engaging directly with the participants, observing situation with the first hand, or conducting interview where there is direct communication and interactions between the research and the subject of the study. And the fourth one is observations. The articles discuss where the research directly witnessed social interactions and communities dynamics. This method offers first-hand insight into how cultural norms and traditions influence the practice of the early marriage. And then the last one is understanding complexity. Understanding complexity means being able to grasp and manage situations or problems that have many interconnected parts. Understanding complexity involves recognizing issues that are not straightforward and require looking at various angles to fully comprehend them. In this case of child marriage in Indonesia, there are three things to do. The first one is explore the motivations. The study wants to know why early marriage happens, looking by the things like money problems or maybe cultural rules or maybe religions. And the second one is social and economic impact. The research probably study how getting married early affect people or family or maybe the whole community. They think about like school result or maybe money health. And the last one is cultural and religious context. By using qualitative approach, the study can see how local rules and religious traditions affect people ideas about getting married early. After we know what kind of method the study used to know the reason behind of the early marriage, so they found the result. The first one is social and economic factor. Family from the low economic status or low income family tends to marry off the daughter at a young age to reduce the family economic burden or to improve their social status. And the second one is culture and religions. Cultural norms that prioritize family honors and specific interpretations of the religions often drive child marriage as a mean to uphold traditions and preserve the family values. And the last one is negative impact. Child marriage practice often to adverse effect on children's educations, the economic well-being of the family, and the reproductive health of the young girls. The study also found out the key reason for early marriage is the widespread acceptance of altering bride age. The study found out changing marriage certificate is a commonly thing to do in village. For example, Atik, a woman who married at 15 in 2004, shared her experience. I got married by certifying my birth certificate. This is adding my age 5 years older, so I was 20 years old at the time. This is commonly performed to anticipate the law regulating the age limit for marriage in 16 years, she said. The research in rural Java show us exciting dynamic. Local community had a different view about the child marriage is. Alright, the last one is the conclusions. This research show that child marriage in rural Java is a complex issue. It really needed for the comprehensive policy change, educating people and raising community awareness. These are the key for reducing child marriage and encouraging positive social change in the areas. Alright, I think that's all for me. Thank you for guys' attentions and I hope you like my presentations. And you know what? Say no to child marriage. And I think that's all from me and see you next time. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.